Never give a sucker an even break. Davos Man, the people at the World Economic Forum, they gambled big time. They rolled the dice and took a horrendous risk, which was Divot 91. The gamble failed. We saw through it, or 25 to 30% of us saw through it, and now in full retreat. This is the idea behind the Ukraine manufactured crisis. It's just a classic. See if we can say, look over there, you know, classic distraction that you would play with a naughty 2-year-old. Let them distract them. It's not going to work though. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is we've got Davos Man. Imagine it's a boxing match. Davos Man gambled. He threw a big haymaker, and we counterpunched him. And he's got a glass chin, and he's on the ropes. And what we've got to do now is just make sure he doesn't get off those ropes. We've got to finish him off here. Nothing violent, of course, but what I'm just going to go through now is some tactics that we can use to make sure that this evil Davos Man is gone for good. I think our first strategy should just be to use cash only from now on. These guys, they want this. I think what they're trying to do with Ukraine is to create the hyperinflation necessary to bring in central bank digital currencies. They want to get rid of paper cash because paper cash means that they can't, it offers privacy. They don't know what you've been buying. They don't know where you've spent your money, etc. So they don't have any control over you. If you have paper money as well, you can have sidestepped Trudeau style tactics by taking your money out of the banking system. So what we've got to do is just give them absolutely no chance whatsoever of trying to bring in a central bank digital currency by proving to them that they just cannot get rid of cash. And the way that we do that now is to just massively increase our own use of physical cash in our day-to-day lives. So we've got to just stop using debit cards, credit cards, and just pay for absolutely everything by cash. You know, and I mean everything, not just like a use cash on Fridays. I'm just like saying absolutely everything we buy with cash, and just show to these people that we're not going to accept digital cash because we're alive to it. We know what their stupid plans are, and we're not going to fall into it. We don't want central bank digital currencies to control us. So we're not going to accept it, and we're going to show you by using cash everywhere, always. So that's the first suggestion that I've got. Always use physical cash. The other thing that I think we should do is to refuse to engage with their Ukraine nonsense. So how can we do that? Well, the simple thing is not watch BBC, or over here in Finland, don't watch Yle or MTV3 or any of the main channels. They will know, they monitor TV viewing habits through smart TVs that are connected to the internet. So if you refuse to watch their stuff, it will anger them greatly, and they'll see that as a negative, that we're refusing to engage with their latest kind of distraction, which is this kind of Ukraine crisis. You know, Vladimir Putin, Emmanuel Goldstein, 2 minutes hate. Just refuse to engage with it all, and they'll know by them monitoring what we're watching on TV that we're not engaging with it. Also, I guess the other thing as well would be on newspaper message boards, just to mock it all, you know, take the mickey out of them. So this, you could say that this Ukraine crisis, you know, it's brought to you by the same people that gave you the deadly pandemic that 99% of people survived, that killed on average 82-year-olds in Britain and 84-year-olds in Finland. So what we must do is just be absolutely remorseless about taking the mickey and ridiculing their attempts to kind of harness our energy through this Ukraine kind of nonsense, you know. So that would be my second recommendation. The third thing would be to try to reward small businesses as much as possible. Mr. Global, Davos Man, he wants to destroy, he's done his best to try to destroy small independent businesses. So what we've got to do is the opposite, try to destroy Tesco, try to destroy these businesses that are favoured by Mr. Global, that Mr. Global represents, by refusing to spend our money with them. So that would be the third thing that I would recommend. Punish the big businesses that Mr. Global represents and reward the small businesses that Mr. Global tried his level best to terminate. The fourth thing would be some gentle mickey taking of the branch divot people, the people that fully bought into it. You know, so what I'm talking about here is just some comments to the effect that, oh, isn't it strange that Divot suddenly disappeared when Putin invaded Ukraine? Oh, what about that the deadly pandemic that killed 84-year-olds? Just ridicule these people that went along with the nonsense. Ask them, have they got themselves prepared for the inflation that their behaviour is helped to create by their lockdown supporting and their support for money printing help schemes. So just ask them, are they prepared for that? How they're going to cope when interest rates are going to go up? And ask them whether they're going to blame it on Brexit or not, and then just start laughing at them. I think these people, they do. We have to kind of tell them. Well, here's an example. Actually, I used to have a cat when I was growing up. As a boy, me and my brother, and this cat, he was called Felix, and occasionally he used to crap in the house. And what my mum used to do was she'd grab Felix by the scruff of his neck, take him over to his pile of shit in the corner of the living room, and like literally rub his nose in it, show him the shit that he did, and basically remind him that you did this, mate. And I think that's what we need to do with some of these kind of groupthink idiots, is just to very gently, I'm not actually advocating violence obviously, is just, and do it in a way that's humorous as well, is just to remind these cretins that there's some pretty bad times coming, and it was your actions that helped to create it. So that the whole point of doing that, it's not vengeance or anything like that, is that our best chance of avoiding any future scare is to encourage these people to look in the mirror and recognise that they really badly screwed up, and they've got to learn from that. So that'd be the fourth thing. The fifth thing that we can do is to share information. So for me, the number one source is UK Column at the moment. They produce some great videos. So email those around to people. So more people see other arguments apart from the BBC or Yle over here in Finland. RT has been taken off the air here, as it has in Britain too. So that would be another thing to ask some, ask some dumb questions to some of these branch divot people. Ask them, when in history, has the right side been on the side of censorship? When has history been on the right side of the censorious? I'm a big fan of that, just asking these dumb questions to make these cretins think. The seventh thing would be to keep on communicating with people. That's really, really important, that we don't, out of embarrassment, refuse to converse with people that supported the Soviet Union and the kind of authoritarianism. So, sadly, I'm hearing more and more of people who've been done in by the Britney Spears. So what we could do is, when somebody says, oh, have you heard about XYZ? And then they describe their kind of symptoms, you could again just play dumb and ask them, oh, did they have the Britney Spears? Oh, when did, and ask them lots of details about, oh, when did they have the Britney Spears? How many concerts did they go to? And then use pauses a lot as well, just pause. And then it couldn't be the Britney Spears, could it? Pause, let them think about it. So that would be another tactic, is to keep on communicating with these people and sort of open up their mind to the possibility that the Britney Spears could be contributing to many of these health problems that we're suddenly seeing at the moment. And as I say, that's not been about being nasty or anything. It's about self-preservation from our point of view, that in the future we want to encourage a more skeptical approach, you know, to some new medical substance that might be pushed onto people in the future. The more people that question it and say no to compulsion, the better it will be for those of us who value choice. You know, as I say, I would never be against anyone choosing to have anything inside their body, you know, because I value bodily sovereignty. If somebody wanted to drink themselves to death or starve themselves to death, as long as they're 18, that's fine by me. So if they want to take part in a medical experiment, that would also be fine by me, you know, to take a substance that was going to maybe protect them from a disease that 99% of people survived. If the people want to do that, then that's up to them. But what I'm very much against is the compulsion. So what we've got to do is to encourage people to think a little bit more skeptically, so that there's certainly less public support for any political initiative whereby, you know, we lose personal bodily sovereignty and the state mandates or tries to mandate what goes inside our bodies, even if you don't want it. The ninth thing would be to smile and have fun, particularly around like the mascoid zombies who are sort of afraid of their own shadows. You know, these people at the moment, they'll be afraid of nuclear war, and, you know, there's some might still be afraid of the, you know, what we need to do is to set a good example, you know, to smile, have fun, show no fear at all, and certainly never wear face nappies or anything like that, you know. Just smile, basically. Let them see your birth face. Let them see you living your life normally, having fun. And that will also, you know, most of these people are herd animals. So, you know, if more and more of us live life normally and smile and refuse to engage with propaganda nonsense and just have fun, then that's likely to be contagious. And the last thing that we should do, which is perhaps the most important, is to ask God for his help. We've been in a battle between good and evil. Evil's on the back foot. We just need this one last push. So if we ask God for his help, I'm sure it will come. And yeah, we just have to keep on standing up for what's right and being a good example. And I'm sure this evil will be defeated, and we'll move into, well, a completely new age, really, of where we reconnect with God and we rediscover true Christianity rather than this kind of fake stuff that's been pushed by people like Justin Welby. Oh, and the other thing that I would say as well is what I'm certainly not advocating is any need for violence. You know, definitely not. We don't defeat evil with violence. We just defeat it in the way that we defeated the Nazi passports, through just non-compliance. Yeah, turning the other cheek, I guess, standing up for what's right. So just pan around a little bit. It's getting warmer and warmer by the day, and lighter and brighter. It's another fantastic day of blue sky. I'm by the train line, actually. I don't know if you can see that. And there's some, I don't know, buds. I'm not a great nature person, but I should take more of an interest in it. Some spring is arriving. So with that, God bless.